Okay, guys, I wanted to take a minute to talk about Joe Rogan, who I've not talked about on this channel before because I personally don't keep up with Joe Rogan. I don't really care about Joe Rogan, and unless he says something that gets a little bit of attention, I don't really come across his content at all. That being said, he did do a episode with Duncan Trussell recently, who I am somewhat familiar with, really only because of the Midnight Gospel. People have been talking about this episode because they talked a little bit about immigration, and it seems like Joe and Duncan, I guess, are having second thoughts on supporting Trump, and I don't know if Duncan supports Trump. I assume he does if he's here with Joe. They've been getting some attention because they said some things about immigration, and I will go ahead and play the clip for you.
This is how I think the only way to do it would be, where you could get everyone on your side. Borders are closed, and we're going to find out who's committed felonies. Who out of the people that are illegal that have committed felonies. And if you've committed X amount of felonies, you have to leave the country.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you've been robbing people for the last 10 years and you're an illegal, you have to leave the country, right? That makes sense.
Yeah.
But if you've been here for 25 years, you have a family, your kids go to school here, you speak the language, you're just illegal. But you're a contributing member to the community that up until now has been protected. This is crazy to ask lower income and middle income people who are, kind of getting by, and then all of a sudden you're about to ship them to a country where they've never been. They haven't been since they were 4.
Yeah.
And you're gonna pull up their family and pull up, and they've been in the community like that. That shows no heart, and that's the problem. Like, you're not going to get any reasonable people to want to go along with that. Any kind person would look at that and go, this can't be the only way to do this.
So, buyer's remorse aside, my interest in this interaction here is actually to do with the comments on the video, because oh boy. So these are the comments of the video for the Joe Rogan episode with Duncan Trussell, where they talked about immigration. And I'm just going to go through some of these so you can hear how Joe's audience is reacting to Joe expressing empathy and sympathy for undocumented immigrants and saying that they maybe shouldn't be deported. He didn't even take that hard of a stance on this. He really just said, I have empathy for these people, and maybe we shouldn't be treating them so horribly. And his audience responded very interestingly. About how you would expect, I guess, but goddamn. Okay, so first comment, I'm a fan, but it's funny how Joe never acknowledges that he's uber rich when having these discussions. Joe talking about fixing capitalism after taking two $200 million contracts is wild. Fled LA because of the policies he voted for, and now he's in Texas trying to turn it into the place he fled. Like, what does that even mean? Glad the comments are calling them out. These millionaires are tone deaf. Their suicidal empathy no longer represents the mainstream. Suicidal empathy, bro. 2 guys with private security living in gated communities telling us what we have to accept. Damn, first time in 10 years I feel like Joe is detached from reality. He needs to eat more shrooms or whatever to humble himself. Hold on, my kids are with me so my crimes are nullified. That's not... Funny how Toe always matches the political views of the guest. Joe has the same opinion on illegal immigrants that all rich people that don't have to deal with the consequences of it have. Literally, shut up. I'm not a rich person, and I don't think that undocumented immigrants should be deported. There. Congratulations. Another dumb comment. I robbed a bank 20 years ago. You can't arrest me in front of my kids. So dumb. Law is law. Man, these two have changed. I used to look forward to the podcast with Duncan, but this one really shows how insanely out of touch these guys are. They used to actually be funny. I'll always stay open-minded, but Joe saying you have to commit an X amount of felonies, meaning plural, to be worth deported is ridiculous. Entering the country illegally should be a felony. Oh my god. It wasn't right letting them stay here 20 years before arresting them. They should have been booted way earlier. Jesus Christ, dude. Strongly disagree with you, Joe. You're a multimillionaire and will never have to live next to and compete with illegal aliens like us lowly peasants. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Do you hear yourself? Oh my god. It sucks that Joe dumps on the USA. Duncan has changed. They are in their own echo chamber. Yet speak as though they know the truth, comfortably misleading many. They don't have to live with the consequences, though, as they have enough money to distance themselves. So you have started to see the gist of these comments. It's easy to have a heart when you aren't the one dealing with them. Imagine being so rich you're immune to mass immigration / illegal alien issues, then you tell the lowly people that see the direct effects of illegal aliens that arresting the aliens is not okay. Just another out of touch rich person. For the millionth fucking time, undocumented immigrants are not the reason your life sucks, okay? They are not. Trans people are not the reason your life sucks. They are not. You need to understand that. It's not anything to do with undocumented immigrants or trans people, and everything to do with the capital elite who are paying your paycheck and paying you pennies for the work you do. That's it. Jesus Christ. I wanted to talk about this a little bit because I just thought it was insane. I thought it was ridiculous. I thought it was baffling. Well, not baffling because, I mean, this is the audience that Joe Rogan has cultivated, obviously. So it makes sense that they don't really like that he's, going against Trump. He's going against the immigration. He's going against the things that they've spent years believing are the problems in their lives. So it's not surprising that they are like, oh, fuck you, Joe, you're out of touch, blah, blah, blah. It's like, but the problem is, this is the one time Joe is actually not wrong. This is the one time where Joe is actually starting to get into the right direction. He's starting to move in the right direction. And instead of moving with him or taking into consideration his new viewpoint, people are just like, fuck you, Joe, you're out of touch. Because here's my question. If Joe Rogan himself having a change of heart, if Joe Rogan himself starting to move in the other direction is not enough to make these people reconsider, what is? Like, what needs to happen? I guess Donald Trump himself would have to change course, and I don't see that happening anytime soon. So, interesting. Very interesting, very scary, very depressing, and awesome that this is where we're at. Great. We're doing great, babes. We're doing so awesome. This country is thriving. Yeah. Woo, don't you feel it thriving? Don't you feel like you're winning, boss? We're winning. We're doing so much winning. Okay, I'm not gonna drag this video out anymore. I really did just want to talk about this a little bit because these comments they're totally fucking against Joe and Duncan. They're totally opposed to this empathy that is being expressed towards literal other human beings. Joe's comment section does not fuck with that at all. At all. They are so far fucking gone, bro. Oh my god. Alright, that's it. I gotta wrap this up. But anyways, give the video a like for me, leave a comment, do all that lovely stuff, and I will catch you all later. Also hit that subscribe button. That's all I got for you. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Take care of yourself. Free Palestine, and goodbye.